The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, I'm Rex Lita with the news. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, 2026 budget passed. PNG hosts inaugural DF trilateral meeting. And Miss Western Highlands is new PNG Queen. The 2026 30.9 billion Kina money plan was passed last night after a lengthy debate that saw both sides of the House providing their views on the budget. While many in opposition were critical about the 2026 budget, those in government welcomed the money plan. Parliament was then adjourned to 10th of March 2026 at 2 p.m.
A budget must be more than a political speech. A budget must be an honest economic document. And Mr. Speaker, with regret, I must inform this House that the budget presented to us is heavy on rhetoric, light on reform, strong in promises, weak in realism, and dangerously dependent on revenue assumptions that are defying economic gravity.
Many Papua New Guineans are watching this debate and they're asking themselves one simple question. When will these record budgets translate into record-breaking solutions, Mr. Speaker? When will they feel safer in our communities? When will these young men and women find a job? Or even simply just to access basic medicine at one of our clinics? The disconnect between these grand budgets, massive record numbers, and the reality our people are living could not be greater, Mr. Speaker.
But the difference between us, we weren't reckless. We stick to our deficit space. Maybe no collecting less, not spending more. Maybe collecting less, maybe cutting down expenditure. Cutting down expenditure. Now you may remain within that prudent level of management we focus.
Minister for Police Peter Semalele Jr. has welcomed the 2026 budget appropriation to police, reiterating that this is a strong investment in public safety and national security. The police sector has been allocated 761 million Kina in the 2026 national budget in a move to modernize the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary.
The police force is planning its largest expansion in 50 years. The number of new officers recruited each year has increased from 500 to 1,400. This following the addition of new training facilities. The goal is to have more than 10,000 police forces before the year 2030. Minister Semalele stated that a stronger, more mobile and more disciplined force is needed to handle major challenges like tribal fighting, domestic violence, kidnappings, drug trafficking and organized crime. This record budget will pay for several improvements. These include rebuilding and repairing police stations across the country, building more homes for police officers and their families, buying more police vehicles with new rules for how they are used, making sure all police staff get mandatory random alcohol and drug testing, and improving digital policing and the ability to respond quickly.
Safety and security is a cornerstone for development, and the 2026 national budget makes the biggest contribution to law and order in our history. This indeed is the people's budget that prioritizes the safety and security of our people, but in doing so, does not impose any new taxes.
The elite Kumul 23 tactical group will get 20 million kina to help them fight domestic terrorism, armed gangs and violent groups. The minister warned that the police are ready to act against those who spread fear.
From a police perspective, this budget empowers the RPNGC to meet its core operational functions, enable the implementation of the RPNGC modernization program. Now, looking at our budget for 2026, the police budget of 761 million provides the backing the RPNGC needs at this crucial time of change. The law and justice sector will receive an increase of 9.6% in 2026. This builds on the 9.5% increase in 2025.
Additionally, 23 million kina will go to provincial police commands to strengthen intelligence and security planning for the 2027 national general election. Minister Tamalili concluded that the years of decline in the police have finally come to an end as the new chapter for police department looms. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN News.
In providing his response to the 2026 budget on Tuesday, 2nd December, Member for Yalibu Pangia, Peter O'Neill, said budget is unrealistic. He also called on the government not to interfere with revenue-earning entities like IRC and Bank of PNG. He said these institutions must be left alone to follow their own procedures in contributing to the government's budget. He said though the government boasts of delivering the highest budget of all times, the effect is not going to be felt.
There is real cost of living crisis among families and our people right throughout the country. They're struggling to fund their day-to-day living. Using the numbers in comparison as a treasurer, a family in 2019 was spending 1,000 kina a month for their daily living. Now there's a need about 1,330 kina a month, and many of them are not even earning that much. Our per capita numbers may be high, but we are assuming that number translates to each individual earning that kind of money to pay for family expenses. It is not. You know, when they have challenges in meeting medical bills, school fees, day-to-day, fuel, buying kai for families, this kind of revenue or this kind of money that they are earning is not able to sustain it, Mr. Speaker.
The Defence Ministers' inaugural trilateral meeting between Papua New Guinea, Australia and Indonesia convened today in Port Moresby. The one-day meeting is hosted by PNG Defence Force Dr. Billy Joseph, attended by Australian Minister for Defence and Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles and Indonesian Minister of Defence Dr. Sanjari Samsudini.
Papua New Guinea Defence Force, under the leadership of Minister Dr. Billy Joseph, hosted the first of its kind Defence Ministers trilateral meeting between PNG, Australia and Indonesia today in Port Moresby. The meeting also builds on long-standing bilateral defence engagements and reflects the mutual commitment to a secure, sovereign and resilient Indo-Pacific. Taking the lead with discussion, Dr. Billy was pleased to host this meeting built on progress already made through the signing of the Pukpuk Treaty.
It is grateful and honored to host this inaugural meeting. Our engagement today builds on important progress already made. Recently, Papua New Guinea and Australia signed a mutual defense treaty, also called the Pukpuk Treaty, reaffirming our long-standing partnership and shared commitment to regional stability. Likewise, Indonesia and Australia have strengthened their cooperation through signing of a security treaty.
Dr. Billy said PNG is keen to work alongside Australia and Indonesia in supporting and enhancing security efforts despite the many security challenges faced by the three countries.
Developments reflect a clear and common understanding that our region faces increasingly complex security challenges that no single country can address alone. Against this backdrop, it is both timely and fitting that Papua New Guinea, Australia, and Indonesia meet collectively at ministerial level.
Australian Defence Minister Richard Marles said the meeting signifies the security history of the three countries, reflected in the agreement signed through the Pukpuk Treaty and the upcoming signing of the Common Security Treaty between Australia and Indonesia, which is expected to be signed in January 2026.
6th of October, we signed the Pukpuk Treaty, an alliance treaty between Australia and Papua New Guinea. It is the first alliance that we have signed as a nation since 1951. And in January, we will sign a treaty on common security between Australia and Indonesia, which recognises the significant shared interests that our countries have.
Meanwhile, Dr. Jaffrey of Indonesia said this meeting will serve as a milestone in strengthening defense dialogue, enhance practical cooperation, and contribute to security aspects for the three countries.
Understand the importance of this meeting today, because from this meeting we can enhance and we can develop more value cooperation between Indonesia, Australia, and Papua New Guinea.
He further bid for the next meeting to be held in Indonesia. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
Papua New Guinea and Australia have marked the commencement of the construction of a new 200-person training accommodation facility at the Papua New Guinea Defence Forces Goldie River Training Depot in Port Moresby. This is one of several deliverables under the new Pukpuk Treaty. Australian Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence Richard Marles, alongside the Minister for Defence Dr. Billy Joseph, conducted the groundbreaking ceremony on Tuesday.
The ceremony began with a guard of honor by the members of the PNGDF, demonstrating respect to the visiting Deputy Prime Minister of Australia, Richard Marles. And the entire attendees moved to the project site to witness the project groundbreaking ceremony of the 200 blocks accommodation building to house PNGDF trainees. The infrastructure to be built is the first project by Australian government since the signing of Pukpuk Treaty. Minister Marles delivered an insightful speech on the importance of the project as PNG prepares to increase the number of PNG Defence Force personnel. Marles said this project by the Australian government is timely to assist this increase.
It is a really important facility in terms of what Papua New Guinea and the PNG Defence Force needs to do in building its numbers, and we are a very proud partner with Papua New Guinea in seeing the building of this facility. This is the first infrastructure announcement that we are making since the signing of the Pukpuk Treaty, and indeed we made this announcement on the 20th of October at the PNG Australia Ministerial Forum, weeks after, literally just weeks after signing that treaty.
The accommodation project will see the construction of a 3-story accommodation building which will contain 50 bedrooms with a capacity for 200 PNGDF trainees, alongside 2 house wings, a shared recreational area, storage facilities, office spaces, laundry and ablutions on its floors. According to Defence Minister Dr. Joseph, PNG is aiming to have a force of 7,000 permanent PNGDF members and 3,000 reserve members by 2035, supported by initiatives like this through the Australian government.
It is vital, considering the Marape Rosso government's requirement for PNGDF to grow our force to 7,000 permanent members and 3,000 reserve by 2035. This generous contribution is yet another significant demonstration of Australia's strong and long-standing commitment to PNG. Whilst this initiative holds particular significance as the first major infrastructure investment since signing of the Mutual Defence Treaty or the Pukpuk Treaty, it is consistent with Australia's long-standing support to PNG defence capability uplift.
Michael Tamtipais, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. We'll bring you the day's other stories after the break. Stay tuned.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Tooks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans, expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend, PNG's own coffee.
Long year 2024, 7 baby i born one time HIV. HIV ikan go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama ikat HIV, long time long carrying baby, na time baby is susu. Tasol Yumi can help him bel mama, long look out him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bel mama clinic, na kiss him antenatal check. Time Yumi pan him sick HIV area, or time bel mama i positive penis, early treatment i can save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV eagle long baby. This lutok sawa ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
When nations collide and technology disrupts, the world stands at a turning point. This December, China's restrictions on rare earth exports have shaken the world as the US looks for alternatives.
Securing supplies is only a first step.
Could the Asia-Pacific hold the key to solving the rare earth problem? In the new season of When Titans Clash, the race for rare earths. When ATMs across Taiwan were hacked and began spitting up millions in cash.
有2名外国男子全副武装遮掩，在领款的过程中，后面的民众认为他可能是车手，就准备要报警。
Watch how Taiwanese police cracked the code and took down an international cybercrime syndicate inside the great ATM heist. Across parts of Asia, the digital native generation is challenging power.
They want a society that is fair.
Are governments ready for the Gen Z rebels demanding change? This December on CNA.
Welcome back. As Papua New Guinea continues to face a worrying rise in HIV infections, health experts say new biomedical prevention tools could play a crucial role in solving the country's rapidly growing epidemic. With the latest UNAIDS estimates showing PNG recording its highest HIV prevalence rate in a decade, the push for effective, accessible prevention has become more urgent than ever. And 3 innovations and methods have been discussed at the recent World AIDS Day workshop by health professionals. During a recent HIV workshop in Port Moresby, UNAIDS Strategic Information Advisor Peter Zimi Bodilan highlighted 3 major HIV prevention methods that could help turn the tide: oral pre-exposure prophylaxis, or PrEP, the Depivirine vaginal ring, and a long-acting injectable PrEP. Oral PrEP is currently available in select clinics in Port Moresby, Eastern Highlands, and Morro Bay. Taken once daily, PrEP significantly reduces the risk of HIV transmission when used consistently. Plans are underway to expand access to more provinces by 2026, making it one of the most promising prevention options for sexually active adults and people with partners of unknown HIV status. Another innovation is the Depiverin vaginal ring, a discreet 28-day device that women can insert themselves. The ring slowly releases antiretroviral medicine, offering protection without requiring a partner's knowledge or consent. It has already received positive feedback and is expected to become available once regulatory approvals are completed. The third major tool is a new injectable PrEP called lenacapavir, which protects users for up to 6 months with a single dose. With recent approval for generic production, the injection could soon become accessible in PNG, offering an option for those who struggle with daily medication or prefer longer-term protection. Zimbabwe Leon said these tools can transform HIV prevention in Papua New Guinea and urged the country to integrate them into community outreach, workplace programs, and national awareness campaigns. Zimbabwe Leon concluded that this is one of the strongest defenses against HIV. He said by understanding and using these prevention methods, Papua New Guineans can take proactive steps to protect themselves and help slow the country's growing HIV crisis. A single mother living with HIV/AIDS for 27 years says HIV/AIDS is not a death sentence. One can live normally with the use of antiretroviral treatment. Nancy Karipa on World AIDS Day earlier this week highlighted the importance of taking antiretroviral treatment and urged people to get tested and get on ARV if tested positive.
During the launch of the Triple Elimination Strategy 2024 to 2028 at the Port Moresby General Hospital on World AIDS Day, Nancy was invited to give her testimony on the importance of medical checkup and staying on treatment.
In 2000 now, misawelo status blooming. So, misawelo status blooming na kamlo second boy blooming, mibin harim isla. Miso se mikat HIV binatang stapante miso dokter stati milo marasin lo second boy. So all kita pingin ini mista bante marasin na mibin kisim karimol second, third, fourth na fifth one time. So all kita mikam testim lo well baby clinic mo negative. So now I'm plus them. Faithful, yes. Faithful lo marasin. So doctor talking me, so you must drink good marasin blue. Suppose you not drink good, begin by some sick blue. So I'm by hatuk lo YouTube by kisim marasin, begin YouTube by kam sim marasin, I'm by hatuk. So you tasol you stop lo marasin, I'm good plan. So begin by noga them morai. So me arum top lo doctor now me, so drink good marasin. So that's how I'm beginning blue me all get a negative.
She now encourages other women who are in the same situation not to shy away from seeking medical care and treatment because the ART is free of charge and the health workers and social workers are willing to assist.
Now milag to all mama usa tiga tiang kla mari to all mama usa tiga bell now. Please only must come to clinic and be plus something. So by 7 picking in blow no can get sick too. So lo clinic taswalem all beginning bawarai so by no na sick HIV and AIDS.
She emphasized the importance of pregnant mothers to faithfully take their ART medicine. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
President of the Papua New Guinea Teachers Association, Aita Sanankepe, is calling on the government to reduce salary tax on teachers. Sanankepe said teachers play a vital role in shaping Papua New Guinea's future generation. Therefore, they deserve to be paid tax-free. If not, the tax must be reduced.
Taxes down to people of Papua New Guinea, but especially teachers and nurses, they should relax some tax. You know, teacher walks up the mountain, down the mountain. Like I as a leader, I walk from Sogere to Popondeta. I saw many of my teachers follow with their heavy load. And they teach them, I personally walk through. That's why now I want to appeal, and it's in our MOA, new MOA. that tax must be do away with on the disadvantaged allowances. They must be paid. Right? I'm saying this because we leaders, we get more privileges. We leaders get more privileges. But think of those small people who do the differences. They're the hardworking people. Come on, leaders, let's give them free tax to those, especially nurses and doctors and police and other people, public servants. You can tax business people, but think of these hardworking people who build this nation.
Miss Western Highlands Iyampela Popena is the 2025 to 2026 Miss Bird of Paradise, following her crowning last night. The coronation at APEC House celebrated culture, confidence, and the rising voice of PNG women.
Miss Western Highlands Province was crowned Miss Bird of Paradise PNG, winning 20,000 kina cash, a return trip to Israel to attend the Queen Esther Purim Conference, a gold pendant and necklace, a winner's banquet, and automatic entry into Miss Pacific Islands pageant and other international pageants. She will also travel across PNG as part of her duties. The crowd cheered up as major category awards were announced. First runner-up was Miss Enga Province, who walked away with 15,000 kina, a bouquet, and a silver pendant and necklace. Second runner-up was Miss East Pacific Province, received 10,000 kina, a bouquet, and silver jewelry. Third runner-up, Miss Gulf Province, took home 7,000 kina, a bouquet, and a silver jewelry. All consolation winners received 1,000 kina, a bouquet, and a silver pendant. Miss Western Highlands dominated, winning 3 pageant interview, Miss Traditional, Sarong, and Best Talent. Miss Enga Province secured major titles including 1-minute introduction, traditionally inspired dress, best designer, and stage interview. Each major category carried a 5,000 kina cash prize. Minor awards honored contestants for personality and community service. Miss Enga took the humanitarian award, while Miss Morobe won both photogenic and committee's choice. Miss Western Province claimed Miss Friendship, with all minor awards received 2,000 kina each. A special highlight was the Entrepreneurship Award, tied between Miss Gulf and Miss Sundown Province. The Best Float Award went to Miss Western Islands, earning an extra 5,000 kina. Last night's event showcased not only beauty but the strength, culture, and leadership of young women in PNG, each one stepping forward as a proud ambassador for her people. Michael Tamtipais, TV1 News.
Member for Vanima Green and Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Belton Nama, has acknowledged the effort and the services given to PNG by the parents of the outgoing Miss Bird of Paradise, May Hasola, at the APEC House yesterday during the 2025 MBOP pageant. May's father, Dr. Damien Joseph Hasola, is a surgeon who performed the first kidney transplant in the country and keep on serving the country in his medical profession, while his wife, Anastasia Wiau Hasola, May's mother, is a secondary school teacher teaching in Port Moresby.
An amazing, remarkable ambassador for Papua New Guinea. We acknowledge your beautiful family, Mom Anastasia, who has contributed to the development of this nation through teaching. We also acknowledge May's father, Damien Asola, who performed the first ever kidney transplant in Papua New Guinea. You are a remarkable family. Thank you to the Asola family. Whoever is crowned tonight, please carry on the legacy that Miss May Asola and Miss Singro have left behind.
ExxonMobil PNG has unveiled its new education zone at Port Moresby Nature Park, featuring a double classroom and 2 25-seater coaster buses donated by Support Conservation and STEM Learning.
The launch attracted grades 11 and 12 science students from St. Charles Luanga Secondary, who were among the first to experience the facility. Nature Park Chairlady Lorna McPherson highlighted the park's growing rates, engaging over 30,000 children in 2024. CEO John Paul Usten reaffirmed the park's mission to connect students with nature and conservation education. The event featured traditional rare dances, a classroom tour, and performances by Resistant Crew PNG. Students expressed excitement about linking classroom lessons on ecology to real-world conservation. The initiative marks a significant step toward inspiring Papua New Guinea's next generation in science and environmental stewardship. Joanna Violet, TVWAN News.
And now a finance news. The Kina closed lower at 0.2360 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying 0.2285 US dollars, 0.3452 Australian dollars, 0.1885 euro, and 35.34 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, copper closed higher, gold, coffee, cocoa, and crude oil closed lower. Palm oil closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. This is TV1 News. We'll take a short break and return with more news after these messages.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's OneTalk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's OneTalk Wallet. PSP's OneTalk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in Tokyo, or old, a scalers family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite by minds. Sandy, see, cola, scale, rice, don't scale price. Sandy, see, cola, scale, rice, don't scale price. Amber, you like it?
Always on WhatsApp? Then this is your style of banking with TISA. Check your account balance or even chat with a TISA Bank agent. Get started today by following these simple steps. 1. Save TISA Bank's official WhatsApp number in your phone. 2. Open WhatsApp and send a simple hi. 3. Follow the menu to start banking. It's that easy. TISA Bank. Banking on change.
This is Gospel Africa.
You will always win. You will always win. You've never lost a battle. You've never lost a battle. You will always win. You will always win. You've never lost a battle. You've never lost a battle. You will always win. You will always win. You've never lost a battle. You've never lost a battle. You
Maligayang Pasko, mga kapamilya, sa Papua New Guinea.
In regional news, in Far North Queensland, the Australian Defence Force has teamed up with Australian Olympic Committee to spread some festive cheer to remote Indigenous communities ahead of the holiday season.
This is no ordinary mission. These elves in uniform have their assignment and they've checked it twice, tasked with bringing the spirit of Christmas to Indigenous communities.
So everyone wants to go up and take a seat. We're here to deliver presents, cheer and achieve some training objectives out in Far North Queensland.
I think the army people to come up and to Dumaji and take us a tour on the plane.
Olympians also joining in on the festivities.
Loving it. I reckon we've got the whole community. We had, looks like we had the daycare or something. We had a couple of babies. We've got a couple of elderly folk now.
The ADF and the team of Olympians have got a head start with the Christmas cheer. In 9 days at the end of Exercise Christmas Hop, they will have visited 13 outback and remote communities in Queensland.
One of the main reasons I joined the Air Force was because it gave me the ability to serve and to interact with the community. I didn't necessarily think I'd be fulfilling the role of Santa.
And to tell these communities that they're a big part of this continent and they are loved and valued.
Mission accomplished.
Australia's social media ban will take effect next week, with children under 16 set to be blocked from a range of social media platforms. As the date draws closer, there are concerns about the rise of platforms not covered by the ban, but the federal government has vowed it will broaden its scope if the need arises.
Logging off and switching on.
You can't replicate talking to one another.
The Premier joining the Federal Communications Minister to speak directly to students 1 week out from the start of the under-16s social media ban.
Families were losing their sons and daughters to snap streaks and to doom scrolling.
From December 10, platforms including Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok and Facebook must bar children from holding accounts or face fines of up to more than $49 million, leaving some young social media users now days away from being cut off.
Saturday and Sunday I might have plans, but if I don't, just social media.
I think it's good to have that detox because I want to focus on other things like studies and sport.
I don't think it'll change much because people will fake their age to get into social media.
It hasn't been all smooth sailing in the lead up to the enactment of the ban. 2 teenagers, backed by an advocacy group, are challenging it in the High Court, arguing the laws restrict their implied right to freedom of political communication. The SA government says it'll ask permission to be involved in the case to argue in favour of the laws. The Minister has also vowed to stay alert to the rise of social media platforms that aren't among the 10 currently covered by the ban.
We will look at whether the harm has transferred there and whether we need to add them to the list.
Forging a path as Australia embarks on a world first.
Ozempic-style medications have been endorsed as long-term treatments for obesity under new guidelines released by the World Health Organization. But the WHO warns that even with rapid expansion in production, the weight loss medications are protected to reach fewer than 1 in 10 people who could benefit by the end of the decade.
So in response to what it describes as an increasing public health challenge, the World Health Organization has issued guidelines for the use of these GLP-1 based drugs like Ozempic for people with obesity. GLP-1 type drugs have been heralded as a breakthrough class of medication. They mimic a hormone naturally produced which slows digestion and makes people feel fuller for longer. They were originally used to treat people with type 2 diabetes and they're still used for that, but increasingly they're being used to help people with weight loss. Now, under these guidelines released by the World Health Organization, they recommend using these GLP-1 based drugs long term for weight management for people with obesity. alongside behavioural therapies like diet, exercise and also regular counselling sessions. But they do note that the high costs of these medications and also supply chain issues have become a barrier to universal access. And they say that even if production was rapidly expanded, projections estimate that fewer than 10% of people who could benefit from these drugs will actually get them by 2030. So the World Health Organization issued a call to its 194 member states, including Australia, to do more to make these drugs more accessible and to make obesity treatment more accessible and affordable.
But this comes, Steph, after the National Medicines Regulator issued a new safety warning about these drugs.
That's right. These guidelines were released just hours after the Therapeutic Goods Administration issued a safety alert saying it would update product information about the potential risk of suicidal thoughts or behaviour on these drugs. Now, the Therapeutic Goods Administration stressed there wasn't enough evidence to suggest these drugs cause suicidal thoughts or behaviour, but it did say that anybody on these drugs experiencing new or worsening depression or suicidal thoughts or behaviour should immediately contact their doctor. Now, having these two reports could be confusing for some people, and so doctors are really stressing that these medications overwhelmingly benefit people who use them, that they can be really helpful in managing things like type 2 diabetes and chronic kidney disease as an example. And they say that, like all medication, these medications should be used with doctor oversight, and doctors can help guide patients, guide them through any potential risks and side effects that they're experiencing. And so their message is very clear that, like all medications, anyone on these medications should be using them with a doctor's guidance, and that doctor can help them manage any potential side effects.
Tens of thousands of residents across Australia are set to lose free-to-air TV with their fibre optic network provider, Opticom, decommissioning the service. The company has blamed aging infrastructure for its decision, and for some customers, the troubles don't end there, with regular internet outages taking whole suburbs offline.
In new suburbs across Australia, many residents have lost free-to-air TV.
We moved into a smart suburb. Ultimately, it was the opposite of that, very, very backward compared to the suburb that I moved from. Definitely not smart in my view.
Private fibre optic network provider Opticom has told affected customers free-to-air would no longer be provided via the underground technology that delivers it. Brisbane retiree Mike got the same letter and says for residents in his retirement village, the change was a huge blow.
Particularly for those that aren't particularly mobile and can't get out of their units very easily, free-to-air TV is a vital and important part of their everyday life.
And installing an antenna would require recabling the multi-storey building at a huge cost.
Our general assessment of people we've spoken to would be running to a couple of $100,000.
Industry regulators say the rules operators like Opticom have to abide by doesn't cover free-to-air television. Instead, they deal with complaints around internet issues, which dozens of Opticom customers have told the ABC there are plenty of. The Telecommunications Ombudsman is calling for better infrastructure standards.
It's obviously not working well enough for people to be satisfied with that. Whether or not they're like us and have to wait for 4 months to be connected, or whether or not it's the continual dropping out.
Opticom says it's investing in backup infrastructure. But until then, many customers are left offline and off-air.
You're watching TVWAN News. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
Hands full? No problem. Use your voice to talk to TISA Bank.
Hey Siri, send 100 kina to mom.
Sending 100 kina.
Just say it and Siri does the rest. Super convenient, safe and secure. Always with you. TISA Bank. Banking on change.
Okay. Yep.
Hi.
Yes.
Can I get a loan for my PNV contract?
You need to fill out these forms, these ones, and then you can get back to me. Okay?
Hello? Hello? Anyone? Hi, I'm Kenny. Can I get a loan here?
Not here. Not right now.
Hi, I'm Kenny. Can I get a loan here?
Of course, Kenny. I'll take down your details. I'll help with the credit check.
Thank you.
And I'll help with your business plan.
1 car Kenny, 20 car Kenny, 1,000 car Kenny. FinCorp, fast forward your finance from zero to hero.
Hello from the highlands. Here, the mountain air invigorates your soul. Lush green forests, wonderful wildlife, and cascading waterfalls. When you visit, everyone from the pickaninnies to the aunties and the boo-boos are always happy to welcome you into the comfort and safety of world-class hotels and guest lodges. Amazing adventures, warm hospitality, rich culture, and friendly people that just can't wait to say, there's fly, play, and stay packages to suit your budget. See how we can get to know each other at papuaNewGuinea.travel.
The NBA on ESPN is happening now. We don't know who's going to catch fire or who will shock the world. We don't know which bucket will break some hearts, who's showing up courtside, if dynasties will ever dynasty again. And we don't know which play will become a poster. But we do know that for tip-off, Christmas, finals, and everywhere in between,
Stop playing with me.
ESPN is your home for hoops.
Hello, I'm Julia Montes. It's the time of the year to spread some cheer. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to all.
The PNG Hunters are embracing the challenge of transition by focusing on player development and rebuilding their core with new talent as they prepare for a challenging 2026 QRL Host Plus Cup season, which kicks off in early March. The Hunters' transition comes after losing 8 of its star players to overseas signings from this year's squad. The team's 2025 to 2026 preseason training camp is well underway, with promising new talent emerging from the DGSL ExxonMobil Cup and national youth competitions. Currently, 46 players are in camp, working hard to build cohesion and adapt to the intensity of professional level training. When providing a brief insight on the preseason training and how they are all handling the change, Coach Paul Eiton said the Hunters have started slow and are picking it right up for Christmas. He admits there is the possibility of another departure soon. While losing experienced stars is challenging, Eiton sees this as a positive pathway for local players to progress to higher levels.
Increasing the intensity, and the boys are handling it really well. We've got a lot of new boys, a lot of young boys. And they're picking up things really quickly, so I'm really happy with how everyone's going. A big loss, I think we've had up to 8 so far. There should be another one possibly coming up, so it's exciting, really exciting, and I hope now that the boys see that it's possible. You know, our job is obviously to win games. We want to be in those finals every year, but also we're a pathway. And I feel like now you can see that that's exactly what we are. We had 4 leave last year, on to better things. We've got 8 this year, hopefully 8, up to 8, and hopefully next year even more.
Aiton added that the club's goal remains to develop and promote young talent, offering them opportunities to advance their playing careers. He said the departure of key spine players like Rimbu, Glare, Voro and Lau creates a big gap to fill. New candidates stepping up include Sani Wabo, who is training harder than ever, Tapia Solo poised to take the crucial number 9 role, plus players like Jamie Mavoko and Joshua Mire are ready to lead.
You know, I had a bit of an inkling that a lot of boys would be leaving. You know, a lot of hard work by the players that have left, a lot of hard work, and had a bit of a feeling that they'd go, so we got a few extra just to fill those positions.
Aiton said the team has a dedicated rehab manager, Lawrence Tu, a former Hunter and Kumuls player who is closely monitoring injured players' recovery, notably Kosobandi and Benji Court. When providing some update on Joshua Lau's departure, Lau has requested a release from the Hunters for personal reasons.
We've got a dedicated rehab manager, which is Lawrence Tu, ex-Hunter and Kumul. So he's working with them every day. So they probably do the same, if not more, than the players that are playing, because they have to get back, and they also have to upgrade their skills. So
Aiton emphasized the high physical and emotional demands of the league, acknowledging the difficulty in maintaining consistent high-level performance week after week. Over 20 teams have been registered for the NCD Governors Cup 2025. NCD Governors Cup Tournament Director Billy Aki said he is planning to get 36 or 62 teams registered for the tournament and ensure the games are played smoothly without buys and disruptions. Aki said the registration is still open for the rugby league clubs in NCD. He urged interested clubs to lodge their registration on time to secure their place in the competition before the registration closes next week. The NCD Governors Cup is expected to run in the coming weeks and conclude in early next year. Cricket PNG will continue to support international cricket player Kipling Doriga while serving his time in Jersey. Doriga was sentenced to 3 years last Friday for theft, an offence he committed while on tour in Jersey in September. Cricket PNG says that since his arrest in August and admission of guilt, Kipling was remanded in jail awaiting sentencing in Jersey. The Cricket PNG had regularly contacted and supported Kipling until his appearance in court. Doriga's family was notified of the court outcome and are aware of the situation. Cricket PNG says it will continue to liaise with Doriga's lawyer while in jail in the UK to ensure his release to serve time in PNG. Cricket PNG noted that Doriga's action do not in any way reflect the team and the aspiration to participate in the international tournament and represent their country. The players have the responsibility to be professional sportsmen and women. Drawing from this experience, Cricket PNG urges all PNG representative athletes to know they are not only representing themselves at the international event, but also representing their family, the country, and they must be good ambassadors. The tracks at the National Sport Institute in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province, are set for the National Championships on Friday, the 5th of December. Teams have begun arriving in Goroka for the National Track and Field Athletics Championship, with close to 400 athletes selected for the championships. For elite athletes who have already proven themselves this year with strong performances at the Palau Games and Oceania Cup, Athletics PNG is not insisting that they attend. For selection purposes, the championships are important to up-and-coming athletes aiming to progress to the national squad. Nonetheless, most of the current national team based in PNG will be participating, including Timothy Tuna, Eustace Robinson, most female sprinters, and all of the middle and long distance runners and field event athletes. Teams will come in from Arawa, Kimbe, Manus, Maprik, Sumkar, Makam, NCD, Karawagi, and Eastern Highlands. Tonga's national team, Mataleki, secured a 4-1 victory over Tahiti in an international friendly held in Rarotonga. This win marks Tonga's second international success of the year, while Tahiti's struggles continue as they remain winless since 2019. Pacific Games. Both teams entered the game low on morale, having recently been eliminated from the FIFA Women's World Cup 2027 qualifying tournament just 3 days prior. This friendly match will boost their confidence in the next OFC qualifier.
Tries to get herself in good space and across.
Tahiti managed to strike first, taking the lead inside the first 9 minutes. Haranui Le Gayak set up Koyai Mai, powered the ball into the net. They nearly doubled the score shortly after, but Tongan goalkeeper Caroline Fotu made a crucial save. However, Tonga quickly answered back. Star striker Loma Magnis chased a long pass behind Tahiti defense and scored in the 13th minute to force a tie. After the initial flurry of goals, the pace slowed down as players tied in a hit, sending both teams into halftime at 1-1. The second half began with a lightning-fast Tongan strike that quickly decided the match. Despite Tahiti's coach making 3 substitutions to refresh his side, Tonga stunned them with 2 rapid goals. Loma Magnis completed the comeback and secured a second goal for the match in the 52nd minute with a superb long-range shot into the top corner. Just 2 minutes later, Sopiana Moala mirrored the effort, finding the same corner with a similar strike from the edge of the box, putting Tonga up 3-1. Tahiti fought back to get back into the game but lacked the creativity to break down the Tongan defense and faded as the conditions took their toll. Tonga sealed the comprehensive 4-1 victory in the end. Michael Tamtipais, TV1 Sports.
And now the weather forecast. In regional focused, southern Port Moresby and Daru, partly cloudy, then few showers and possible thunderstorms. Kerema and Alatau, partly cloudy. Mamase, Ley, partly cloudy, then few possible showers. Wewak and Vanimo, partly cloudy, then some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, Kavieng and Kokopo-Rabaul, partly cloudy, then few possible showers and thunderstorms. Buka, cloudy with rain and thunderstorms. And Highlands region, Mount Hagen, partly cloudy, then some rain showers. Other Highland centers, partly cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, sea smooth with northwest to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Solomon Sea, sea smooth with northeast to easterly winds of 5 to 10 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea smooth to slight with northwesterly to southeasterly winds of 5 to 50 knots. And Pacific Ocean, sea smooth with northwest winds of 5 to 10 knots. And coastal waters forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daro to Kioi Island to Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Island. Seas 1.0 to 2.0 meters. Waters of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finsafen. Seas 0.5 to 1.0 meters. Waters of Finsafen through Vitia Strait to CRC Long Island to Madang. Seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that wraps up another edition of TV1 News. From the news team, pleasant viewing. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
Okay. Yep.
Hi.
Yes.
Can I get a loan for my PNV contract?
You need to fill out these forms, these ones, and then you can get back to me. Okay?
Hello? Hello? Anyone? Hi, I'm Kenny. Can I get a loan here?
Not here. Not right now.
Hi, I'm Kenny. Can I get a loan here?
Of course, Kenny. I'll take down your details. I'll help with the credit check.
Thank you.
And I'll help with your business plan.
1 car Kenny, 20 car Kenny, 1,000 car Kenny. FinCorp, fast forward your finance from zero to hero.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
To hold you gently, come close to me. Hand your hips, let me hold your body. One of the song moves to the other one. Chronos with banger, I mean not a kind. One step, two step, one. Drop it down, now rewind. Wiggle that Jamie on. Close to the cam, I don't mind. Let the music take you away. You can't say million miles away. Imagine it's just me and you. Don't go back, I feel it too. La repeat take over. I you live my love.